For the Project 2, I'm designing spaces for digital creators and artistic community. It's an incubator for education and art. The purpose is to promote greater networking and social interaction in a form of accessible spaces designed through AR and VR technologies. It's called Sonus, in Latin meaning wave, linking with the project concept. The spaces occupies 2 floors in the historic Arding and Hobbs building. I've chosen the ground floor and the first floor. The location is Westminster, the core part of central London, between Leicester Square, Trafalgar and St James Square. There are 3 main reasons behind the choice. First, central activities zone, the most vibrant in London with plenty of businesses and variety of services. Demographically and economically, it's perfect for the introduction of the new class of incubators. Second, cultural diversity around Leicester Square has been entertaining London since 1670. It's filled with cinemas, theatres, restaurants and shops, known for street events like Pride Parade, Chinese New Year and Diwali. What I'm showing is an artistic place for young and older habitants, street artists and performers, because we are all born artists, aren't we? 4 social problems are being addressed here. The impact of COVID-19 on real estate market, the link between loneliness and technology, the speed of technology evolution and young contribution to media making. Multiple lockdowns force us to isolate, live and work from home. Commercial spaces became vacant, shaking the real estate market, leaving entire floors in high-rise buildings empty. We are facing a new challenge: how to save the real estate physical spaces in a world that shifts into the digital lifestyle. Social connections are important for our well-being. Having support from family and friends is important for our happiness and health. It's instrumental to our ability to share information, learn, and seize economic opportunities. Depression, however, is a key issue that is correlated with more media use. As a designer, I feel responsible to address the issue of separation and loneliness, to deliver spaces that enable social interactions. People change slowly, technology changes fast. We live in a virtual lifestyle more than ever before. Digital shift into Metaverse has opened new ways of interaction from work to virtual spaces like art galleries. The world that we see, touch, feel, taste, and smell is the only one that is influencing our perception, and from perception comes behavior, and collective behavior is what we are as society. Public hubs, co-working spaces still have to offer us something to back up the evolving virtual lifestyle and also increase their capacity. Young people are constantly going through a process of reshaping the way society works, including patterns for information and communication. They are massively attracted and engaged in creative media making, finding their voices and expressing themselves via social media platforms. Up until today, there are private member clubs like Soho House or Neue House, where membership is selective, based primarily on wealth or family status. Admission requires a lengthy application and an interview process. For Sonos, I'm proposing a new model of engagement, where everyone who contributes to the community can become a member. The idea is based on the blockchain technology. To better explain, members by generating digital art or hosting exhibitions will mint Sonos coin, very own cryptocurrency, exchangeable to other coins including fiat. It means the space by operating with fund itself. Sonos active members, both local and remote, by creating digital or physical artwork in any format, will pay their membership. They become part of the ecosystem by generating NFTs. NFTs are unique digital files that exist on Ethereum blockchain, acting as smart contracts to verify the ownership of the work. This is how transaction between creators and collectors happens and membership fees are covered. To put it in terms of physical art collecting, anyone can buy a monoprint, but only one person can own the original. The idea for the project concept derives from painting with a sound wave. I did an experiment using an empowering artist statement. Please listen.
You are everything the world needs. Make those power moves.
I used this sentence as an input to generate the sound wave of her voice. I coded a script with P5 JavaScript that is able to capture the specific sound wave and animate it. The second P5.js script is able to draw complex mathematical functions based on the sound wave sinusoid. It includes both sine waves and cosine waves with a phase offset. This effect occurs in nature when multiple waves with a phase are drawn. It just looks like this. I sketched voice, that's what you are looking at now, a specific sound captured in a moment. It illustrates the DNA of the project, evokes important values like existence in both worlds, but it's also music. It unites people and brings them together. I used the generated artwork to trace lines and learn the unique curvature they offer. Some ideas were translated into the project elements like the furniture or flooring design. Sonus uses a semiotic language of signification to speak to users through furniture configurations, informing them of the type of work and collaboration they are invited to. Physical abstract models were used together with technological solutions like agent-based modeling to analyze patterns of occupation and social interaction in space. The agent's behavior was scripted to correlate with the configurational and morphological features of the design environment. My own design process includes taking pictures of physical abstract models and tracing them to find unseen lines and forms that can inspire bespoke design elements like this installation or benches. Or here is another example of this process. Sonus is music and music is rhythm, which is what I wanted to introduce in a physical form for wayfinding. My inspiration came from the speculative architecture drawing I made. It's a technique that uses hybrid tools to convey design ideas while they are still formulating. I was introduced to this technique by architect and professor Daniel Brown. Soundwave inspiration brought me to a question. How do people navigate a space? I knew there must have been a more accurate way of program planning rather than just designer's idea that usually comes from a limited working memory capacity. The process I use is based on invisible forces, generating a physical outcome. A third script I wrote in Grasshopper was an agent-based crowd modeling. The main objective was to understand how the space could be used by members. Through the exploration of data-driven design, I tested how applied forces can generate directional vector lines to simulate intelligent movement. I achieved a set of explorations of multiple behaviors by changing the attributes. I tested 3 floors and 81 various combinations. The process gave me foundation for optimizing the traffic flow and zoning that is based on real data. From this, I sketched various simulations. Later, some of my ideas were transformed to the physical model of the space, especially simulation that I was working on. I gave wayfinding a priority in deciding the purpose of each zone. My goal was to give a user a very intuitive traffic flow that is not imposing, but ensures that each space is easily reachable. That's the flow of the zoning process. Final layouts are a combination of multiple layers: program, linear logic, agent-based crowd modeling, and urban influence. Although invisible, they make up the DNA of the spaces. Linear logic was applied to differentiate spaces between hot and cool zones. Hot dedicated to collaboration like workshops and networking activities, whereas cool to public access. To emphasize the location, Leicester Square, 10 bronze statues representing characters from movies and entertainment installed there are now giving names to different Sonus rooms. Possible users' profiles were created to better understand their needs, taking into account age, generation, and social status. So 2 main categories are digital creators and collectors. The graph illustrates the likely movement of the 3 main types of users in a 24 hours time frame. The program is rich, targeting all 3 types of members. Above many, it features computer labs, private offices, event rooms, and exhibition halls. Ground floor is divided into 9 zones with main vertical communication hub to the right. There are 3 categories for main entrances: for visitors, workshop attendees, and members only. Bottom left is where main entrance with reception for members is located. They have access to networking and exhibition areas. It's also where offices for management and staff are. Second entrance, upper left corner, is for public, inviting people to visit a coffee bar located at the mezzanine level. The connection with main spaces is only one-way road. Public has no access there. They can only preview and grasp the creative vibe. At the bottom right is where the third entrance is. This one is accessible both for members and workshop attendees. It serves as a reception and lounge. It's also where main vertical communication hub is. Middle section is partly enclosed for private events and space for happy hours and cocktail lounge. At the top there are toilets and storage rooms, serving the entire floor. First floor features 9 different zones, mostly for members. Using the main staircase from the ground floor, we get to the right section, and this is where workshops, seminars, and lectures take place. On an open plan, there are bespoke desks and workshop stations. There's a futuristic-looking mezzanine that serves for lectures, TED Talks, and art display. Not mentioning a cool party can be hosted there too. It's adapted for wheelchair users. Middle section features a projection room, networking zone, and 4 private offices that can be rented per hour. The large open space to the left is dedicated for the creative work of members. The configuration of tables can be adapted depending on current needs. Moreover, there are spaces for staff, a podcast or meeting room, and going up to the mezzanine on top is where 5 specialized units are, meaning fully equipped stations for fashion design, sculpture, painting, a photo studio, and a recording room. Following the linear logic, spaces are differentiated between cool and hot zones, cool for public access and hot for collaboration and networking. The transition between both extremes creates the most private sphere that is dedicated to the core business of the incubator. Plus, some spaces have their digital twin, a virtual extension accessible by remote users worldwide. There are 2 types of users, local and remote, both connected to the virtual spaces with VR and AR. Remote users can join using their avatars or a detailed 3D scan of their body. Sonus spaces represent double typology. The extension is not the exact copy of the physical spaces, but offers an opportunity to further expand the capabilities of such double nature. This creates a new space for collaboration between members. And VR glasses are one of the tools. This MetaSurf pod is a guardian, ensuring a safe space is provided for a user. Wayfinding and effortless navigation was a priority when arranging Sonus spaces. They are divided into 3 main working typologies identified by function they provide: 2D, 2.5D, and 3D. Staircase, for example, represents double typology, consists of 2 flights and a ramp. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to visit the spaces. Starting on the ground floor, we are entering the building through members' main entrance, directly dividing into action in the networking zone. Reception welcomes members and ensures they get all information they might need. Going farther up, there are partially enclosed exhibition and display zones where, for example, a parametric data sculpture can be played. It's the space for artwork exhibition made by members. Multiple concrete pillars were transformed into features, becoming navigation hubs and introducing biofilling element. This improves users' well-being and impacts mood in a positive way. It's perfect for creative casual collisions between creative and collectors. Right after entering, there is a space for VR glasses users with MetaSurf pods. They can play or perform different tasks, collaborate with other Sonus members that are located in different parts of the world. Sonus members are happy. Why? Maybe because they get access to happy hour and cocktail zone that is supported by our in-house cafe. It serves as a lounge to sit, to meet, and to have a snack. It's operating long hours, making people curious to join. This is a middle section, more private, dedicated to networking and hosting events. It's a spot to listen to live music, perhaps created by one of our members. Resting spots and display stands are located around the private event room. We are at the second entrance where workshops attendees are joining us for education. This section acts as a reception and lounge. Users can register their presence and sign up for specific workshops. This space is wheelchair user friendly. Members are invited to hang around with their colleagues, socialize, and network. This section is also a main vertical communication hub, taking users to the first floor for workshops and to the mezzanine for lectures. There is a lift located at the back to assist disabled people. One of the first open plan setups for education. It is where workshops, seminars, lectures, TED Talks, or exhibition even take place. Right above the staircase, there is a fully accessible mezzanine that acts as a pedestal to the most important events that take place. It's crowned with a kinetic ceiling installation of light, movement, and a mirrored body. It consists of wave-shaped metal blades that combine to form a single undulating wave. Located between two workshop zones, this is where casual collision and informal meetings take place. It's the most branded zone, featuring Sonos sculpture made of fiber core. Fully equipped projection room is an important space with multiple usage. Members can host their virtual exhibition, present their work, or meet virtually with other users. It's maintained in dark color scheme with multiple LED light sources emphasizing wavy shapes. This is the pulsing heart of the incubator for education and art, a true collaborative space where people join to do their work at the same time helping and empowering each other. Should someone need a software help, surely we'll find someone to match with. The space has access to plenty of natural light due to large historic windows, introducing a unique vibe to modern-looking interiors. The space is equipped with a station for VR extension. It has a large 4K LCD screen to transmit the combination of what one can see with VR glasses. Sonos introduces a new model of interaction where physical and virtual worlds are transcending like a sound wave, offering an extension to existing spaces, both functioning in parallel. We are passing next to the meeting podcast room equipped with another 4K LCD screen and now heading towards the 5 specialized units for fashion design, sculpture and painting, a photo studio and a recording room. They have plenty of space and natural light, but also provide advanced technological solutions for members. And you, ready to find your space? Now, what is Sonos made of? I've prepared various material boards for different spaces. To contrast the black and white base, color scheme soft fabrics and wood elements are introduced. Some dedicated areas like networking zone on the ground floor introduce biophilic elements to ensure the well-being of members is addressed. Large black and white squares are Kerox solid surface samples which most of the bespoke furniture are made of. They include LED light strips on side elements or kick plates. Fabrics are being used for sofas and chairs upholstery, and the color scheme differs in each space. It's Sonos signature fabric. This is a material board for the private event room located at the ground floor. The base scheme is broken with vinyl carpet and wooden LVT flooring for the stage. Bottom left is fabric for chair upholstery that goes nicely with the concrete light plastering. Bespoke paneling is made with Kerox solid surface. All materials are selected with caution and ensure they are suitable for commercial application and are fire rated. No coincidence was made while selecting the paint. Curator is an Irish brand of high quality 100% acrylic paint. It's created by an artistic Irish community of designers, each influencing that the palette has a unique sense of art, history, and its origins. The brand ethos works perfectly with Sonos' mission and vision, so the choice was obvious. Ground floor envelope was designed to complement the vision of Sonos' modern spaces. Large glazing is fitted in organic shaped molds that follow the idea of a fluid sound wave movement. The envelope looks solid, minimalistic, but also futuristic, contrasting with the rest of the facade. However, not imposing, only highlighting the historic design features. It communicates that what is important is right inside. The envelope is made with a glass fiber reinforced concrete. Talking so much about technology and changes, let me show you how the future of presenting projects to a customer can look like. I've prepared a third-person Metaverse experience for you today. Music on and enjoy.